Good evening. My name is Wesley Piston and this is FGK96, and let's talk about professional wrestling. Now, guys, you're probably wondering why am I making this video? To me, it is a very important message to all the wrestling fans and all, especially to all the people who think that wrestling is just nothing but garbage and just fake. Right. Reason why I'm making this video today, guys, it's a bit personal, but I will say I don't give a fuck. My well, I won't say all my family, but my brother, because ever since I did wrestling, I've been telling everyone that I've been doing a lot of training for the wrestling, and they're basically saying there's no point of you doing it because always it's just fake. You're not really hitting each other, and it doesn't hurt. So what's the point of just training? That is gotta be the biggest piece of shit I've ever heard in my life. Wrestling is not just a piece of shit. Wrestling is like any other sport. It doesn't matter. You work hard, you're dedicated, and you are going to get hurt, regardless if you like it or not. You are going to get hurt. Bumps, back bumps, side bumps, front bumps, turnbuckle dives, suicide dives, chair shots, extreme rules bumps, go through tables, power bombs, DDTs. In wrestling, when you watch WWE, when they go into a headlock, they are rough as fuck. If they're going to go for a clothesline, they're going to try and take your fucking head off. Wrestling is all about feeding when you're with your opponent. You are working together. You're working together. Yeah, you are working together. But again, you are still getting hurt out there. I got hurt. My neck was aching for doing bumps continuously. And I'm saying that because of experience. I've only had two lessons. Two lessons. And I already know how it feels to be in a ring and to do these things. To take a clothesline. Do you know how intimidating it is? Do you have any fucking idea how imitating it is to take a clothesline, to take a shoulder block, and just to land like that, a snap on the canvas? It hurts. It does hurt. People out there are complaining and moaning at the fact that it's fake. Right. I can understand what you mean, but the punching and the kicking and the stomping, etc. I understand that. But the violence and everything in wrestling, it's not just all about violence. It's all about personal storyline and build-up telling. You know what I mean? It's all about storytelling in WWE or any other wrestling sport any wrestling company out there. It does not matter. You watch people like Sami Zayn against Kevin Owens. This is what makes wrestling so special. Is that the fact that let's say for example, if me and George have been wrestling ever since like I don't know, like imagine we both started doing wrestling at the same time, yeah, and then we wrestle for over 10 years and we never make it to the big top, and then suddenly we finally make it to the big top, and we face each other the main title. Now, first off, that tells a story, not just inside the ring but outside the ring. It tells a story at the fact that we have built up our lives and our careers, and all that dedication and hard work has led up to this one moment. And now I understand what that means. Like Triple H and Undertaker, they faced each other at WrestleMania 28, and Triple H said all this led up to one moment, WrestleMania in April, whatever it is. That's what it means. This is why wrestling is so special. Also, think about it as, and also to continue with the conversation about me and George, and then I face him for a title, regardless if I win or lose. It's an amazing moment at the fact that we have built up to get to that moment, and it took us like years and years to get there. That's what makes wrestling so special. You have a look at storylines like HBK versus the great old Ric Flair, WrestleMania 24 in 2008. That was probably one of the best matches at WrestleMania history. Reason why? Because it's just not because of the emotional storyline in the match, but outside the ring. Ric Flair is a legend. throughout the WCW days with the Four Horsemen all the way to 36 layer against Shawn Michaels in his last match at Mania. That tells a story because Shawn Michaels has been a fan of him for all this time. And then he beats him in his final match at WrestleMania 24, and that creates a moment. Not just in WWE history or any other wrestling history or whatever. Doesn't matter what storyline. It also tells a story in you. It tells a story in them. It tells a story to the fans. It tells what does it make you feel? This is what makes wrestling so remarkable. That the fact that storyline telling in WWE or any other wrestling sport is amazing. Depending like if you can feel what is going on in the situation. Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels, there was so much emotion that even Shawn Michaels himself was crying during the very end of the match. The bell hasn't even rang to the end of the match. He was crying because he felt so bad that the fact that he ended his career. It doesn't matter if it's fake or not. Whatever the fuck you say, he went out there and ended a 36 career. It's the same thing with fucking Undertaker, one of the greatest of all time. It doesn't matter how the wins or losses are occur. It's still 22 consecutive years at WrestleMania. He's goddamn 50 for fuck's sake. Show some fucking respect. And then there's people there fucking complaining about, oh, Undertaker's an old git. It's like, show some fucking respect, assholes. I don't give a fuck about what you say about Undertaker. I don't give a fuck what you say about Kevin Owens. I don't give a fuck about what you say about Bray Wyatt or anyone in the fucking company. If you say NXT is nothing but a load of shit, go fuck yourselves. Because NXT is fucking amazing. And speaking of The Undertaker, by the way, guys, he is probably going to face Bray Wyatt, but that's nothing to do with this conversation. Undertaker is one of the greatest of all time. And the fact that people moan that wrestling's fake and shit, look at the injuries. Look at Mick Foley. Look at John Cena. Look at Triple H. Look at Benoit. Look at Mick Foley. I think I already said Mick Foley, but it doesn't matter. Look at Mick Foley. Look at Seth Rollins. Look at Dean Ambrose. Look at any other single WWE superstar or Ring of Honor superstars, IWA superstars. CM fucking Punk. He had broken ribs when he faced Ryback in a TLC match. Respect. John Cena broke his leg in the Royal Rumble and still carried on. Respect. Triple H torn his quad in a tag team match with Stone Cold against Chris Benoit and Chris Jericho and carried on to the very end of the match. Respect. Joey Mercury got a bloody nose from a ladder shot, carried on to the end of the match. Respect. Is that fake? Is that fucking fake? No, it's fucking not. It's not a fucking fake. Getting smacked in the face with a fucking ladder with an actual fucking bloody nose, shit of the blood coming out of your face. Like I said to you guys, wrestling tells a fucking story. It tells a story in any wrestling fan or a guy who generally is a wrestler. It tells a story in you, and it also tells a story in the fans and to your opponent. Whenever you're in the ring, you're telling a story. Wrestling it's what it is, and if you don't like it, I don't give a fuck. If you don't like it, don't fucking watch it. Don't fucking complain. Fair enough, complain about John Cena. I mean, fair enough, complain about Sin Cara. Fair enough, complain about freaking Seth Rollins being the Money in the Bank briefcase, and no one gives a fuck. People like Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins, Ambrose, Cesaro, all them guys, they have been wrestling for close to nearly 20 years, for over 20 years probably. And you say they don't deserve what they have, and they don't deserve a title. Go fuck off. You know nothing about them. They have been through hell to get where they are. I'm not even gonna lie. John Cena. I don't give a fuck about what you say about John Cena. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you like him. I don't care if you hate him. He got there by being him. But any other WWE superstars in the business right now, they got to the business the way they got to the fucking business. They made it, and I have tremendous respect for any WWE superstar who walks behind the curtain. It doesn't matter if it's a jobber. It doesn't matter if it's a top guy, a mid carder, a big guy, a small guy. It doesn't fucking matter. Rey Mysterio, biggest underdog in the history of WWE for a reason. You want to talk shit about wrestling? We don't give a fuck. I can tell you this, guys, with experience. I've only done 2 lessons, and yet the fact that people like my brother likes to take the piss, fair enough as a joke, but never ever underestimate wrestling. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I take nothing away from footballers, rugby players, hockey players, UFC fighters, boxers. You know, I don't take anything away from any other sportsman. I respect any sportsman. You know, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a woman or a man. If you do a sport and you like it, fair enough, good for you. But you are going to go get hurt. So you are going to get hurt in wrestling. Don't underestimate wrestling, because wrestling is a sport that you can get hurt in, and people just underestimate it because it's a complete mistake. And I can tell you this, I've been a fan of wrestling since I was 5 years old. Then obviously I didn't know the business of wrestling. I didn't know like how they, hit each other, they do the bumps. I didn't know what a bump was until I was like freaking like 10 or 11, you know what I mean? And to finally get into those ropes and learn how to wrestle, with all the aches and pains, tough fucking deal. You want to be in the business, you're going to get there your way, and you have to ache through the pains. They are out there. Wrestling is more demanding than any other sport in the fucking world, in my opinion, because wrestlers have to get up. They eat, sleep, WWE, as Brock Lesnar would say. They get up really early. They get on the plane. They go to whatever country. They do a house show. Next thing you know, they do another fucking house show. And then they got to do a television show. They got to do freaking interviews. They got to do movies. They got to do more WWE events. They've got to do live television on Raw, on SmackDown, on Superstars, on Main Event, whatever. They have to be up and about all the time. They have to move everywhere. They hardly ever see their families. And that's how demanding wrestling is. And like I said, guys like John Cena, he does everything. Same with everyone else. Any other wrestler who steps in the WWE, they do everything in their can and everything they can in their power to do what's best for the fans. And that's why I have tremendous respect for wrestlers, and I expect you to respect them as well. This is Average Gamer 96. I hope you understand the message and get it in your fucking head. Take care.